Well, I'm going to take y'all back because the last time I was in there, someone asked me about my husband because I shared stories about my husband previously. So I'm gonna share a family story.
Okay.
Um, to take y'all back to 2003, I had just had my son. And I also had a 3-year-old daughter. So we moved to this apartment not too far where we were living in East Orange on 18th Street. So we moved in the house because we needed a bigger bedroom because my daughter needed her own because we had the baby with the bassinet or whatever. So we buy all this nice, fabulous stuff for her room, canopy bed, all this stuff. And
Mm.
she goes to bed at night, but she never would sleep in her room. She would always keep coming in my bedroom. So the next one of the days, I said, well, why aren't you sleeping in the room? And she said, because a lady keep coming in my room. And I said, a lady keep coming in the room. You
Mm.
sure? I mean, she says, not you, mommy, not you,
Mm.
not you, a lady. So I said, well, what is the lady doing? She's standing there, mommy. So I leave. 3 years old. So my husband and I is like, okay, maybe she's like you, and we need to get something. So I go to my grandmother's house and I get this salt to line her door
Mm.
so that nothing would go inside her room so she could sleep peacefully. I put a glass of water by her bed. Fine. So I said, okay, I'm going to finally get some sleep. So I go to bed at night and then I hear the door creaking. And I jump, I'm like, oh my God, this is not working. She's back in here. And I look at the door and she's not there.
Oh wow.
So I hear my baby cooing and I look over at the bassinet and the spirit of a woman is standing over my baby,
Mm.
bending down.
That's spooky. Hold on. Spooky. Continue on, Peach.
So that's not the end of it. So I look up and I said, get away from my baby.
Mm.
And the spirit disappeared. So I went to get up out the bed to go to my son in the bassinet, and she was standing on the side of the bed. And it scared the crap
Mm.
out of me.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm looking at her and I'm like, why are you here? And then as she started to clear, like she was there, but you couldn't really see her face real well.
Mm-hmm.
But then her face started to come into focus. And I realized it's my husband's deceased mother.
Oh
So
wow.
I'm looking at her and I'm like, and she starts smiling at me. And I said, well, why are you here? And she said, I'm coming for my son.
Oh damn.
So I'm
Spooky.
tapping him and he wouldn't wake up. And I said, you coming for your son? She said, yes, I'm going to be coming for my son. So then I started screaming, you're not taking my husband.
Mm.
And that's when he jumps up and he's like, what is going on? And he looks over and he see her and he's like, Mom. And he looks like he's about to get up, but I jump on top of him so he won't get up.
Mm.
And he's just screaming, Mom, 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 because his mom died when he was like 18 years old.
Mm.
So I'm holding him down, and then we both look over, and she's gone.
Wow.
And he's like, what did my mother tell you? And I said, I don't want to say. And he said, what did my mom tell you? And I said, she said she's coming for you soon.
Mm.
And he looked at me. He said, well, you know, when we first met, I told you that I wasn't going to live long. I was going to die young.
Damn.
Did she say how long? And I said, no. My husband died a couple months later on Christmas Eve.
Say word. Wow. My condolences. Wow. On Christmas Eve?
Yep.
Wow. So he died in his sleep. How he died?
He didn't die in his sleep. He was messing with some girl and she set him up and he got shot.
Oh
Blew his
damn.
whole chest open.
Damn. My condolences. So
Thank you. Yep.
so how did you find out this information about your husband getting set up and all that?
Well, actually, I had to go to court because he was messing with her. He moved out to be with her like 3 months prior.
Mm.
And I had to go to court because the way it was set up, they thought I did it, but I didn't do it. It was the girl he was messing with.
Mm. Wow. So they was trying to put that on you?
They were just investigating, when
Mm-hmm.
cop, because his whole chest was blast open with a double barrel shotgun, close
Damn.
range.
God damn.
So
I
the
mean,
girl set him up
set him up.
because she was upset.
Okay, yeah, she was upset. Continue on.
She was upset because she thought he was going to come back to the family because he would
Mm.
still kept a relationship with the children.
As he should.
So she thought, she thought that he was going to go back to the family, but he wasn't. He was reaching out to me he was like, listen, I don't want to be there no more. And since you don't want to be with me, I want to get an apartment. So will you help me? And I said, sure, because I think that's best for the kids.
Mm.
So I was dropping him off, and he was supposed to meet me the next day to get the kids stuff and open up stuff with them. And when he walked through the door, she had him set up. She had a stage where some guys bust in and dragged him out to the apartment next door. They tied him up and was beating him with the shotguns, and then he
Damn.
wouldn't give up fighting, and then they shot him.
Wow, that's crazy. Like, wow. My condolences. Um, and let me ask you something. Like, being that let's just say this. He was doing his thing on the side or whatever, right? You said he moved out the house to do his thing, right?
hmm
How do you feel when you got the news that he was killed?
I was very upset. I was
Mm.
disappointed because I felt like our story didn't end there. It wasn't over. But,
Mm.
you know, the creator intervened and said, yes, it was over.
Mm. Wow. Wow. Um, I mean, wow, it's crazy. It's so many things I want to ask you, but then at the same
You can
time,
ask,
yeah,
everybody asks a
yeah.
lot of questions.
Um, the fact that he was doing this thing, was it any kind of resentment? Like, was it like, I'm trying to, find the right words
Was
to
there
say.
any resentment?
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you this. That's a whole nother spooky story. I couldn't have resentment because
Mm.
we had a pact that if one of us was to die, we would come back and say something to the other. And he came back and said he was sorry.
Wow. Hold on. That's definitely spooky. Right? Rewind, Pete. Hold on. Let's you said that was a whole nother story. We're gonna have to go into that story because you just F my head up, and I know the chat room feel the same way. You, Peach, elaborate on him coming back saying he was sorry, please.
Okay. So the same my daughter that I was just discussing, we buried him and everything else. So after the funeral, me and my friend came back to the house. We were sitting down, put the babies to bed, and I'm just like, oh my God, I can't believe that I made it through the funeral and everything. Like I had to have
Mm,
that girl banned. I had to tell her, listen, she can't come here, none of
mm,
that. So it was a rough day. So after the funeral, we came home. Well, I came home with my kids and put my daughter to bed and put my son in his little bassinet or whatever. And me and my friend is sitting in the living room. So we just sitting there just talking, just reminiscing or whatever. So all of a sudden, my door just opened and closed.
mm.
And we're both sitting there like, what is that? So I go and I look and I said, no one's there. And I sit down. So I started laughing. And she said, well, why are you laughing? I said, well, this is the part of the pack. This must be the pack part.
Mm.
So we sitting there, and I used to keep loose change in this container in the middle of my kitchen table. The change just dumped out. And then the change just started shooting across the table onto the floor.
Wow.
And so my friend is like, okay, oh my God, what is going on? I said, no, that's just Carly coming to say bye. It's okay.
Mm.
I said, well, I guess you're going to go in the room and see your daughter, huh? Because you probably haven't seen your son.
Mm.
So next thing you know, we sitting there and you see, like I had a little purse on my daughter's doorknob. You can see the doorknob turning and then the purse goes around the doorknob 2 times.
Wow.
So my friend said, I can't take this. I'm out of here. I said, you know what, you're a silly.
Wow.
So I said, look, Kylie, I'm going to bed. Whatever you got to say, you can say tomorrow because I'm tired. It was a stressful day. So I get up in the morning. I fix my daughter her breakfast. I go in the bathroom. I start prepping the tub to get ready to give her a bath.
Mm-hmm.
So then I feel some little hands touching me, and she's like, Mommy. And I said, what? And she said, Daddy is here. And I said, oh, yeah, your dad is here.
Mm.
And she said, yes, he keeps bothering me. I can't eat, Mommy.
Wow.
And I said, well, what does your daddy want? She said, he said bye, but he said to tell you that he's sorry, Mommy.
Mm.
He's sorry.
Wow.
And I said, well, you tell your dad that it's okay. And, I know that this is just, life. And I forgive him. And she said, okay. And then she started to walk away, but then she turned around and she said, Daddy said he kept his promise. And that the promise was the pact that if one of us was to die, we'll come back and say something to let the other person know.
Wow. He kept his pact.
Exists.
He kept that pact.
Yep.
Wow. That's a touching story, but also spooky as hell.